Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I don't know why that poster's on there, but it looked pretty cool anyways. I'm Jason. He's Zack. We're back. Another Fighter Spotlight podcast. We're welcoming the youngest fighter in the BKFC, Mr. Kai Stewart, Hefty Bag. What up, dog?
Not a whole lot. Well, you forgot to also say I'm ranked number 5th in the whole promotion as well. So.
Oh, and ranked number 5th. My bad.
145. No, you're good. You're good. I had to add that. So
what's up, man?
Can we just get down to the nitty gritty?
Yeah.
When everybody's here, why are you fighting Brandon Lambert?
I honestly, he's such a. You know what?
You could say whatever you want.
He's a pussy. Okay. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can't show up to my home state where I'm fighting. You don't have a fight on the card. You're only coming here to promote a fight with me. You wear a Kai Stewart is my bitch shirt, trying to get me to want to fight you. I'm like, sure, we can fight. And then he runs off into the wind or whatever he did. I don't know. So that was a hit to me because as annoying as he is, as sucky as he is, he's a big name. He is a big name that would have pushed my career in the BKFC. So
would he really have though? Because like I don't know if so. I used to be friends with him on Facebook before I even knew you existed. You know, because he adds everybody in the world that's in the MMA community, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I watched him interact with people for months, and finally I was just like, I'm kind of tired of this guy on my feed, and I just unfriended him.
Yeah,
because he just talked a lot.
Yeah.
Never really did anything about it. I looked up, I'm like, oh, he's probably a really good fighter, like to talk this much. And I was like, oh, he doesn't have any fights. That's weird. And then one day I'm watching bare knuckle boxing and he's on there. I was like, I know this guy. I think I told you, I'm like, I know this green haired dork. Like I've seen him before. and then it turns out he can't fight. And what I'm saying is beating him, I don't know if it actually does that much for you.
So yes and no. No matter what, people are going to tune in to watch him get knocked out, and I would have been the guy to knock him out. So instantly, people are going to look more into me because they see me on their screen. So it's one of those things that, like from a fight standpoint, it's whatever. He's 0-1. He's arguably that could be his only fight he's ever had. He claims to have 72-4 record or whatever in Muay Thai in Thailand. And I said, cap. And
he sure doesn't.
No, he doesn't. There's no way. So that doesn't push me there, but he does push me publicity wise. And in the end, publicity is money. So bring me the money.
That's true.
And a win's a win, right?
Yeah. Well, especially in my weight division where they posted the rankings, and I don't want to tell them that I shouldn't be in the rankings because I think I'm the toughest person in the division, obviously. But everybody's 1-0 except for Rusty Crowder. He's 3-3, which is a 50-50 record. So it's like everybody's 1-0. One more win puts me with 2-0. So does that put me as number one contender? Like, what does that do? And it's a vacated title. So
yeah, I was about to say. So who are you looking at as your toughest competition in that top 5 that you'll eventually fight for that 145 title?
I'd definitely probably say Davis. Everybody else, like I think I looked Davis up. I don't know. After I looked up one or two of them, I was like, these guys are all soft. So I stopped. But like Steve-O Morris, he's like what? 4, 8, and 12 or something. Like 4 and 12. He's terrible at MMA. That's amateur MMA. You come into bare knuckle boxing, he wasn't getting beat by wrestlers. He was getting beat by getting knocked out. So it's like, who are these guys? So,
Kai, what made first of all, what made you want to do bare knuckle? Because you've done one fight so far. What made you want to stick with bare knuckle versus continuing on with your MMA career?
It's a good route for publicity, for one, and then I don't want to be a career BKFC fighter. I want to be around for a while. I want people to know me. I love MMA. I love wrestling. I want to be able to take people down and drown them that way. But it boiled down to everybody in this division is soft. Let me run through this division real quick and then be on my way.
Get paid.
Yeah, and the pay. Like I'm not gonna make what I'm making in BKFC in my first MMA fights. So it's just it. But if I get a BKFC title, there could be some big things on the horizon for me that are offered up. So we'll see. But the answer is yes. I miss MMA. I miss MMA, and I think that's in my future. I'm still training it, but there's soft people with no wrestler mentality in 145. So I'm gonna run through it as long as I can.
When would in your head? When would you like to be back in an MMA fight? Later this year, 2023, 2024.
In reality, as the 5th ranked fighter in BKFC, I would say if there's not a title very, very close with wins, then what's the point? And whenever I win the title, I guess, which I feel is very, very close. It should be very, very close. So, but I want to get back in MMA pretty quick.
How does the BKFC feel about you talking about, I just want to do a couple of these fights, run through this and dip and go back to MMA? Do they have you heard it? Have you heard from them at all on your stance with that?
No, I'm a big ticket seller, man. They can say what they want, but I was supposed to come across as just some guy in Montana that's going to sell tickets, maybe only do Montana fights there. But then it's like, okay, I knocked my guy out pretty quick. Okay, this guy was the biggest ticket seller. Okay, this guy in his next Montana fight might break a BKFC ticket sales record. So it's like, this isn't coming from them, but this is just things that are fact, and it's what they've got to be considering. So I don't think none of us know my longevity. I'm not a signed fighter to them. I don't have a fight deal. So it's like,
oh, really?
Yeah. I think one's close. I hope one's close. I hope I'm not breaking rules by saying anything. I haven't been told I've broken any rules yet, but it's like, we'll see. I would love to be, especially if there's a because I'm ranked 5th, like I said, a 5th ranked guy can be a title contender like that. So it's like, I think it's close.
You have a fight lined up right now, right?
Yeah, April 30th. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And that's against Daniel Gary. I can't see the Facebook comments, but if there is any, if Daniel Gary's in the chat, that's who I'm fighting. I told BKFC, don't send anyone you want. Just you can send anyone you want, just not someone you want back. And that's who they sent after Brandon Lambert decided he wasn't cool enough to fight me.
What do you know about Mr. Gary?
I don't know. I posted a picture of him a while ago. One of his punches was a big old haymaker, so I photoshopped a pillow. Like he was chucking a pillow at someone, and I think he's an athlete. I think it's going to be a fun fight, and it's in front of my home crowd, so it's going to be an electric night.
Do you feel like that they're so I've always told teammates and stuff too. There's 2 types of people when it comes to fighting. There's people that they just have to fight, but then there are people they have to talk smack and they have to build fights up in their own head to get themselves hyped or whatever. But then in turn, they also kind of put extra pressure on themselves because they talk so much.
Yeah.
Real talk for a sec. You say everything to everybody, and it's great. Do you ever look back and go, wish I wouldn't have said that to anybody? Or do you ever go, or do you feel it at all as you're about to walk? You're like, Time to back up everything I said about this guy.
I don't disrespect people. That's the thing. I state most.
You just said that you photoshopped a pillow on somebody. That's not exactly being respectful either.
I do teeter the line, but in terms of what I say, it's not like I'm truly attacking anyone. I kind of just state claims. I state facts. If something is true and I say it, it's like, even if they whoop my ass, it's like I still said what was true. Like you can't falsify that. But no pressure. You can't put pressure on yourself, because otherwise that's just gonna derail you from your game. And I don't know. We're just here to make money. Hit them with some good shit. Don't get hit, and go home with a pocket full of cash, like Nate Diaz said.
Nate Diaz.
I like it.
I say it all the time.
I like it.
So, no pressure. It's gonna suck one day, because if I ever get knocked out, I'm saying it right now, I'm gonna have a meme maker make me a meme so I can get ahead of the curve, because I know and expect the memes to come out of me losing bad. It's gonna be there, but you can't.
Oh, they're coming. Yeah, they'll come.
But it's all like, that'll just go into my stand-up comedy skit, because I mean, pretty much my comedy is my life. So
you do comedy too?
I'm thinking about it. I don't do it, but I have started like compiling ideas and like writing a skit. I would love to do a stand-up comedy sometime.
All right.
We should, I've said that for years. I want to do stand-up comedy one day.
We could have you come on here and do like a 10, 15-minute little skit if you wanted to.
Noted.
Hey, Kai, circle back to your fight real quick. What's the difference between getting ready for a BKFC fight versus an MMA fight? What's the difference in your training?
As you guys
know, wrestling?
Well, I'm not a boxer per se. So I've been just focusing on my hands. I do wrestle and help my teammates get ready for their MMA fights. I'm going to stay sharp in wrestling, make sure, because I am a college wrestler as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to go too far away from that, but there's a big focus on my hands for sure.
Okay.
But bare knuckles, like what I call it, is a glorified Greco wrestling match. If you are a Greco wrestler, you have a lot of advantages in this, because my coach always told us that Greco wrestling is the closest thing to a fist fight you'll get without being in a fist fight. And in bare knuckle, you can latch on to a head, you can latch on to an arm as long as you're still punching. So it's like, that's Greco wrestling.
I got you.
Okay.
Hey, Mason, you suck. Boom, roasted. Kai, not to bring up the negativity of it, I believe you missed weight your last fight, correct?
Yeah, I'm good with it. Yeah, I did. And there was just a lot of unprofessional things that I did during that weight cut that I've never did before. There was also a few new things that I tried. Okay. And I actually didn't, fun fact, I did not sleep the entire night of Thursday before weigh-ins because of how my body was shut down, but I refused to stop. And then about 6:30 in the morning, I called my coach and said, hey, like my body is doing some weird shit. And so we called it. And before I called it, though, I texted my opponent. I texted the BKFC, and I was like, hey, listen, like, this is where I'm at, and I'm sorry. And I beat myself up pretty bad over it.
Yeah. So different this time, right on track to make 145 for April 30th?
Yeah. There's a lot of differences that people are going to find out about soon enough. Like, I'm just – especially with this ranking, especially with the publicity I'm getting, it's like, yeah, I was taking things seriously before, but now if I want to make it to that next step, it's like I've got to be perfect. So I'm just trying to do everything right.
Are you going to be a featherweight and a 145er going forward in MMA as well then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's your weight.
Well, okay, time out. I'm only 21 years old, so I'm still growing. I love 145 because if I'm doing everything right, my walk around weight is perfect for 145, and it's really not that hard of a cut. And I'm comfortable at 45, so comfortable. 55, they're bigger, but none of their gas tanks are as good. So it's like Well, I can't say that, but every 155-pound fight that I've had, just my gas tank suffocated those guys. So yeah, I love 145, and I have abs at 145, so that's pretty important.
There you go. Yeah, you got to have the abs.
Yeah,
got to have the abs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your girlfriend fights too. Speaking of your abs, I bet she likes the abs. Does she have a fight coming up soon?
So no, she just fought. I don't know exactly what she's doing. I'm there to support. She's got her team.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's tough. She posted a video. She kind of did me dirty. She hit me with a 3-piece and then got me with a kick.
Nice.
On this video she made for Instagram Reels, and it was she's tough, and she's only 115 pounds, so it's like she hits like a truck. So it's like other 115-pound females, like, how? I don't get it.
Has she dropped you in the training room?
No, we've actually only sparred one time together.
Have you dropped her in the training room?
No, but she knocked my head back once, and I like that's whenever I realized, okay, so we're sparring. So.
Kai, is there any, assuming everything goes well for you April 30th, who would you like to fight next in BKFC? Would you like a title shot next?
So logically, I'd say absolutely. If that's the route they want to take, I know that I'm handsome. I know that I can sell tickets. I know that I'm going to be a pay-per-view star for them one day. I would love that, but I'm really watching. So there's a 145-pound fight at my event. Louis Lopez versus Rusty Crowder. Rusty Crowder is in the rankings. I think he's winning, and Rusty Crowder could get it, honestly.
Okay.
So that's a name in the rankings that if there wasn't a title shot with a win, there's definitely Rusty Crowder. Speaking of, the number 1 ranked guy is fighting another Montanan, Josh Wright, on April 22nd. So I'm going to watch that fight pretty closely. I haven't actually looked up Howard Davis before, so it's going to be good to watch him. He's probably soft like the rest of them. Who knows?
Is there any of them that you think pose a threat in any way, shape, or form?
They all do. Well, okay. It's bare knuckle. So it's a little bit different of a mentality. Yeah, I'm talking all this big stuff, but this next guy, who's like, his record does not say that he's done much. He could clip me with a bare knuckle and I get cut and it's over. So it's like, you never know what's going to happen in a bare knuckle fight. So that's what makes it the most difficult to say who poses the biggest threat, because on any given day they can land a punch on me. But I also hate getting hit more than like I probably should to be a fighter. So I just don't get hit. It's a lot easier than like getting knocked out and memed.
Yeah.
Well, I assume. I'm not like most of the 145 division that all have a knocked out loss on their record.
You gotta give a straight face when you say stuff like that, bro.
Kai, you're also a wrestling coach too, right? Up there in Montana?
Yeah, I'm excited. I actually have I'm doing a couple of private sessions today. That's exciting. I only truly coached one kid for the wrestling season just because I have my school schedule, my wrestling schedule, fighting schedule. But he did well, and he's 5 years old, and the smile that I put on his face, that I helped him put on his face through his passion of wrestling was so cool. And like being able to meet all of my coaches was a super big deal to him. So that's the goal with wrestling, is to just make it better. So, and it's pretty cool that my little guy did pretty damn good too. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. It's awesome to see.
Yeah. Hoping to expand that. I'm thinking about doing a complimentary, a supplement club for the already existing bigger clubs. I'm not going to compete with them. I don't have the time to do that at this age. But what I could do, whenever I was growing up, I never had the opportunities of like consistent summer training. And there's kids out there that, I feel everybody should do every sport to give them a shot. But if they want to just focus on wrestling, they should have that opportunity. And that's what my club within our MMA gym, Team Wolfpack, is the goal, is just to give those kids that extra place to go.
Nice.
Right on.
Oh yeah.
Do you anybody you want to give a shout out to? Any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
My biggest one, Native Grown. Their dispensary in Great Fall, in Montana. 3 locations. They're super good. So if you're in Montana, go there. They're the main one, but honestly, my final little thing I need to say is I'm really in this bare knuckle thing because the division's soft. So hopefully there's big things within the next 2 fights.
I love it.
I dig it.
I love it.
I'm not a big bare knuckle fan, but I'll tune in to watch you. So there you go.
Yeah, to be honest, neither am I. I happen to be good at it.
Getting the hefty bag.
Getting
that hefty bag.
You could just take that clip and send it to BKFC. Be like, hey, here's an MMA podcast. They have me on. They don't even like bare knuckle, but they tune in just to watch me. So there you go.
Exactly. I did send the link to them already. I was like, you guys can watch if you'd like.
There's quite a few people watching, so that's pretty awesome.
Heck yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, thanks, Kai.
And yeah, for sure, tune in April 30th. That's the big one. I have merch links in my Instagram bio, KaiHB145. The link to watch that gives me credit is on there because, people tune in to watch me.
We have a big date on April 30th too, but we'll try to put it up on our phone and watch it as we're commentating the local fights here.
Tag me on an Instagram story whenever you're commentating the fights with that. Get that in a picture.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Appreciate you guys.
All right, Kai. Thanks, brother. We appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.